applaud the food. And, Peter Schiffer's office, the Vice President's Office of Research, has sponsored this event, and it's an attempt to reach out across all of the departments and disciplines and programs and other entities of the university in order to bring people together and focus our attention on SEI issues in nano. Now, SEI issues, of course, is one of those alphabet soups of topics that emerges, just stands for social, ethical, legal implications. Where I come into the picture here is I've been fortunate enough to participate on an NSF grant for the past couple years with Mark Horn, who couldn't be here, Richard Devon, who will be here at 2 o'clock. And that was a grant in undergraduate education and engineering on nanotechnology. And we focused on social, ethical, legal implications of nanotechnology in that context. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a nonstop learning curve. And I think that's going to continue today. But one of the things that comes out of that class, besides the RepRap 3D printer over here, not that we made it in that class, but we started talking about the RepRap printer in that class. But one of the other things that comes out of this is that if there's going to be any interesting, realistic, integrated effort to think through the far-reaching and wide-ranging implications of nanotechnology, which does anybody want to debate whether or not nanotechnology is going to have wide-reaching and far-reaching? I mean, it could be interesting to say, they're always selling the new and latest things, but I think most of us are probably pretty persuaded that even if we can't predict any particular implication in detail or locate what the most important frontier is, that in toto, that Reuters and the NSF are right to point to nanotechnology and 2012 as being about $1 trillion. So that's that's a number with wide-ranging implications. And of course, we can't reduce all the implications to the monetary figure, so that's part of what we're going to try to talk about today. How do we go about engaging in multidisciplinary, multi-perspective, grassroots, open source, community accessible knowledge about the social and ethical legal implications of nanotechnology, so hence NanofEst. So the way I think about today is that this is the bootstrapping, right? Everybody's familiar with this term, bootstrapping. The way I think about it is from John von Neumann's paper in 1947, which was based on a talk that he gave that explored the theoretical possibility of a self-reproducing automaton, right? So a machine that would make a copy of itself. And if you read the details of that paper and hum the equations, then you'll see that when the automaton first starts to make a copy of itself, it sort of has to grope around and find out whatever is around it that it could possibly use to create itself. And it's not pretty, right? In other words, it doesn't always work right away. And I think that that's something really important for us to remember, that we're getting started. We're going to forge, hopefully, a community that can discuss these issues together and push forward research on these issues together. So today we're just engaged in the bootstrapping, so at least we get good food along the way. Now, everybody's probably read a Michael Crichton novel, even if they wouldn't admit to it. But one of the, people have probably read some Michael Crichton on nanotechnology, and it can be useful in the classroom, but it's really not that inventive. But one of the things I like about Michael Crichton, I don't know about you, I like how by page 20 or 25, and he probably has a formula for it, that the team is assembled, right? There's some problem, whether it's the Andromeda strain or Jurassic Park or something like this. There's a set of problems, and you have to assemble the team. And this is the way I think about what we're doing today. We're assembling the team that can engage with this ongoing process of investigating social, ethical, legal implications. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the novel with all of you. And then goals. I just wanted to say a little bit about goals before I shut up and let presenters give presentation. I think it's worthwhile for us to have some very kind of clear and basic goals of what our SEI community should do together. And I try to keep them as simple as possible. And the first one is just flat. And by that I mean that we should be the benchmark for all other communities investigating social, ethical, legal implications of nanotechnology for having the flattest hierarchy. What I mean by that is that people from every level of society, the university, the community, and so forth can get access to not only the discussion, but to sometimes the direction of the discussion. And I draw on that out of our experience in the class when a very interesting thing took place the second time we taught the nano class together, which was there were a group of auditors in the class. Alex, I think you were an auditor in that class. Yeah, there were a group of auditors in that class that more or less took over the class and shamed, if I may say so, some of the graduate students in material science and elsewhere. And these were students from, visual arts, students from economics, students from Italian, students from all over the university who brought an enormous amount of enthusiasm to bear on the class and really helped steer the class. So flat hierarchy could be a goal that we could pursue, I think, actively as a collective, but obviously as a flat hierarchy we can talk about that. Sticky is the second goal that I have, and what I mean is this is the old Silicon Valley term. Do you remember this term, sticky, for websites? I don't know if it's this idea that we use information technology in order to grab people's attention and focus people's attention, and that they keep wanting to come back to that. Another thing that, again, I learned mostly from the students in the classes that I've taught is that we can be the lead community when it comes to the savvy and canny and free use of information technology to promote our cause. In other words, to investigate the space of all possible tools that we can use as we're pursuing this discussion without it becoming bogged down into a constant discussion of this or that information technology, which shall go nameless, Google Apps. Okay, no, because that could be the other problem, right, where everybody just gets into a competition of which tool is best, and there's hardly anything more boring than that in my experience. And then the last goal that I have that I take to heart, I think you can tell, is that we're here to play. And by that I don't just mean that we're here to play and have fun, as we're going to maybe do a little bit with the RepRap printer, but that we're here to play the way in which somebody who shows up for an NBA basketball game or a World Cup soccer match is there. We're here to do it. We're not going through the motions. We're serious about this. We recognize the sort of urgency and excitement associated with nanotechnology. And while sometimes you can become a little bit kind of sick of the hype or the technophobia or the technophilia associated with nanotechnology, I think at the end of the day we see that this is actually something that we need to start doing now, if even the conservative estimates concerning the transformations of nanotechnology are actual, and that it's going to be a lot of fun. So I mean the other sense of play as well.